What is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm on the SP404-MK2, and what I would like to show you is 3 different ways that I've been using the DJFX Looper recently. 2 of them I believe I've covered on the channel before. The third one is something that I've kind of come up with recently which I really like. You may have noticed I've been using it in my beats if you follow me on Instagram or if you've been watching my beat videos on this channel. So I'm going to go through all 3 of them. I'll show you the settings you need to use and the best places to use them. So I hope this is useful. Don't forget to check out SPVIDZ.com if you need drums for your projects. All the loops that I'm using on this, which have been made with the pattern sequencer, all the drums are from my Lo-Fi Drums Volume 4 pack, which is my latest release. But there's deals on there and everything, so if you want to get a load of drums, please head over there and have a look. So let's get into this one. I've got these patterns which I've already released as a beat on this channel. It was my previous video. If you want to go check that out, you can see the full performance of that. So I'm going to use this and use the DJFX Looper on it. Now, just something to note that the DJFX Looper is set up to apply to everything on this particular beat. So all the drums, all the samples, everything is going to be affected by the DJFX Looper. I just have to point that out because with the Mark II, you can have different buses and different effects going to different things. So this is just going to be over everything that's playing. So the first one that I want to show you is the sound that you're probably going to hear most of the time when this effect is used. It's the most common sound. And for this, what we're going to do is have the length set to about 2 o'clock on the dial, on the left-hand dial here. So that's telling me about 0.062 seconds. And let me just hit remain so you can see the settings here. Speed is going to be all the way around to the right on 100. And this right-hand dial, you can see it says loop SW, and that could be switch, loop switch, off or on. So we're going to use this to quickly turn it off and on, and that'll apply the effect while it's on, and it won't apply it while it's off. So let's get this loop going, and I'll do a demonstration of what this sounds like, and then I'll explain the best places to do it. So here we go. Okay, so you should be able to hear there that the effect kind of comes in and leaves pretty quickly. And one thing that I think is really important in this particular instance is that you stop the effect before that snare hit. Now, I don't know if you can hear how I'm doing that, but having that snare hit come back in, it just kind of keeps the rhythm flowing quite nicely. So I'll try and show you how it works when it sounds a bit sloppy and you don't include the snare, and I'll try and show you when it does include the snare so you can hear the difference. It sounds a lot better, basically. So let's give that another go. Could you hear there how I'm undoing the effect when the snare's hitting, so it just adds that cleanliness to it. I think that's a really good way of using it, and you can get creative with that as well. You could see there was numerous parts in that loop where that was working effectively. If you wanted to go really crazy, you could probably use it a lot more than that as well. So let's just try that, and then we can move on to the next example. So I hope that helps you out, guys. I hope that's a good tip for you, that one. You can see there that that's probably the most common way that DJFX Looper is used. Those are the settings, so give that one a go. Now, the second one that I want to share with you is very similar to this, but the change, it happens with the left-hand dial here. So I'm going to turn this dial all the way over to the left as far as it'll go, and that increases the length. So what we're going to get is we're still going to get that stutter effect like you get with the DJFX Looper, but it's going to be a lot slower. And this in combination with the other type of effect, which I've just shown you, can add some interesting effects to your loops. So I'll show you how this one sounds. And I think that pretty much sounds best when I'm just doing it for kind of 2 beats, if you could hear there. There was kind of 2 skips and then you're back into the beat, and I think that's the best way to use that. That's personally how I tend to use it the most. So I'll just show you that example one more time. And one thing you want to be noticing as well is how I'm listening to the time of the beat so I can come in and out at the right place. I see a lot of people using DJFX Looper and it affects the timing of the overall loop. So when it's skipping, make sure you've still got an idea of what the loop is doing, and then you can come back in on time and it'll sound a lot more seamless. It's really bad if you don't pay attention and then something like this happens. To me that just sounds a bit scrappy, but if you can keep it in time, that just sounds a lot smoother. So the third example which I'm going to show you actually involves the middle dial, and this is a really nice one. I've been using this a lot recently. I really like the effect it has. It's kind of like the sound of a vinyl slowing down, so someone putting their finger on a vinyl or someone pressing stop on a vinyl. You kind of get that sudden change of speed, and it's actually really easy to do with this middle dial. So I'm going to run a loop, I'll show you, and then I'll kind of try and explain how to do it. So let's see how this one goes. So I think that's a really, really cool effect, and basically what I'm doing is I'm prepping the DJFX Looper. I've already got it on. I'm listening to the right sound to execute it, which may take a little bit of practice for you guys, but once you get into the groove of it, you'll have a lot of fun with this. And basically the best way I think to do this is to move it in a counterclockwise direction, and then in time again, so you're having to listen to the time of the beat, use the main button for DJFX Looper to turn it off. So that will mean you get a nice clean finish on it. So let me show you again, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. It's quite hard. You can't really slow this down, so it is quite hard to demonstrate, but hopefully you get the idea. So yeah, try that one as well. I think that's a really good effect. So if I go ahead and combine all three of those things, it just kind of goes to show the versatility of DJFX Looper, and there's actually more stuff you can do with this effect as well, so definitely go and get creative with this. I'll just do a quick example of all three being used in the same loop, and you can get an idea of the sort of effects you can be getting from this effect. I always suggest that you use effects lightly and don't overdo it, because that has become a bit of a cliche with the SP devices, that people just do too many effects on a beat basically. You've got to let the beat breathe and let the beat drive the beat, ironically. I know that sounds a bit strange, but don't get too messy with the effects. Use them well, use them considerately, and try and use them so that they complement the beat and don't distract the listener from the beat that you're trying to play. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope it was useful. Let me know if you use DJFX Looper a lot like I do. It's probably one of my favorite effects, especially for jamming live, and those are some of the things that I tend to use it for the most. I think those are the three things that I tend to go for when I'm performing a live beat. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you found it useful. I'll be back with more SP tips very soon. Keep making beats and take care. Peace!